For some of you that are not informed, I want to give you a little background on what's going on in my home. With that, I mean Hong Kong. Protest for democracy has been going on for more than 2 months in Hong Kong. It started off by a group of university and high school students boycotting class. They initiated the boycott to express their concern about the electoral reform, in which the Chinese government announced that they would pre-screen any candidates to be run for the city's leader, which is unacceptable. Therefore, the students started off this plethora in Hong Kong. Gradually, more and more people joined in the movement. It eventually evolved into a citywide protest where people occupied the streets of a few major business districts. They organized camping tents, medical stations, food and supplies were constantly donated. There were even recycling system and free tutoring set up at the protest sites. Looking at these people, I felt very inspired. I also found a few teachings I learned from church about how to become a better impact on other people's life, very useful and fascinating. My first thing that I want to share is sometimes silence is not an option. A lot of times we tend to keep opinion to ourselves. Why? Because we feel comfortable with it. We want to stay in our comfort zones. We don't want to pop up bubbles. The other thing might be pessimism. People tend to be pessimistic sometimes. We don't think the things we do can make any changes. In the case of civil activities, it is very easy to fall into this trap of thinking, I don't have to do anything, there will always be other people doing it for me. If everybody is thinking that way, I believe there would be hardly any civil rights on this earth at this moment. While fighting for democracy might be a foreign concept to you since we're living in this free country, let's just scale down to think of just incidents around us. How about maybe domestic violence of a neighbor, addictions of a friend, or anything that you observed but you never questioned? Could you do something about it? Could you keep silent of it? The second thing I want to point out is the talent we each possess to make the change. We all have something special that the person sitting next to us don't possess. An example would be this old construction worker in Hong Kong. He looked at these students sitting outside on the street doing their homework, studying because they're boycotting class. So that he thought to himself, I could build things. Why don't we build something for the students? So he brought in woods and materials and built covers, chairs and tables for the students. And then the other person came up, hey, they don't have lights at night. So he donated his electric generator to the covers. Therefore, the first ever study room in a protest site ever in history was there.
You're doing great.
In this room, we have a variety of professions. We have consultants, we have counselors, we have accountants, which I don't know what you do still. But you know the best. You know what you're good at, and you know what you have. So think of what your specialty is, and go ahead and find someone around you that might need the help. The third thing I want to state is that don't ever understate what a person can do. While the leading force of this civil obedience in Hong Kong was led by the students, among these students, there's actually this teenage boy being the leading figure of thousands of people. And guess how old he is? He's only 18. In fact, he actually started participating in the politics when he was 15, when he started this student group to lead students and parents and many civilians to fight against the oppression of government. Since then, he has led hundreds of thousands of people to go against the government for injustice. If Hong Kong is too far for you, then we come back to the States. Think of Rosa Parks in the early 60s. As a person who stood up alone against the majority for justice, he had started a series of civil rights protests across America and eventually laid the groundwork for desegregating sitting in buses. We're all given influence and affluence to speak for the impact that people don't have. I believe everyone here could be the next US president. The only thing we need to do is to live out the power in your hand. What I want you to do today is think of what you're good at. Think of your specialties. Think of something that you're passionate about. And what can you do with it? Are you brave enough to stand up for the people that don't have a voice? Go out and observe your neighbor, your coworkers, even your family members, relatives that you haven't talked for a long time. Go out and give them a call. Think of them and be the voice of these people. Thank you.